Right guys, what's going on? So 3DR Solo, let the mods begin. What we're going to talk about here today is how long it took me to acquire 7 satellites. So earlier when I was out there with my friend, I cranked up the Solo, I put it down, and I knew this might be a persisting problem when I purchased it. So we're going to talk about how to resolve the issue, hopefully resolve the issue without having to upgrade the GPS. I heard this got really good results. So we're going to go ahead and try this first. If it doesn't work, then we'll upgrade the GPS. So basically, what's happening here is there's a little cover, okay, that's right on top, as you can see, and there's 4 clips. You can see those clips there. And all you do is take your knife and go ahead and just put it in between the crease and just give a little twist, and each one will pop out. Then you can just pull the cover off nicely. Just try not to break the clips. And then there are 7 screws that need to come out all the way around here, and then you can physically grab this tray. And this is my second time doing this because when I got it, I wanted to see what my GPS board was. And so all you're gonna do is give a little pull. You're gonna pop this up, pull it, and it comes backwards. Make sure to pull it backwards because the battery connection is there. So make sure when you pull, you try to pull the tray out backwards. And then you'll see there's a white wire here, or a white connection. There's actually a clip on the back side of this, so be very careful when you take this off because you definitely want to be able to reuse the clip. So let me remove the clip. I think the piece is actually on the back side that you need to squeeze. It's on this side. So let me remove this, then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. If you can see, there's copper foil around here. See the copper? That copper foil apparently touches the antenna and it causes it to have really crummy, like just takes forever to pick up satellites, and everybody that's having this problem normally doesn't get more than like 7 satellites. And so anyways, I took it out to a field here a minute ago because I wanted to test some of the other features, and it took almost 20 minutes to get satellites. So as you guys know, I'm a modifier. We are going to modify this and see if we can make that better. So I got a nice little piece of cardboard here. We're going to cut this out and put this in between the antenna. It is, I believe, single ply, not double ply. And let's go ahead and tear this down and figure out what shape we need to cut this cardboard to keep the antenna from cutting into it. So give me 1 sec. So as you can see, there's the GPS unit here. And there are 2 screws. There's a screw right there and a screw right there. Those are the little silver ones that I pulled out. And now you can remove the copper piece and take a look at your GPS board underneath, which I can tell you mine is the A. But let's go ahead and pull this cover off, and I'll get with the guys here in a sec. Just remember what way it goes, okay? I just took it and I peeled it back, and as you can see, it says 3DR Solo Rev A right there, GPS. So this is the original GPS module that came in it, and if you guys want to, you can order the B. The B will get you 16 to 20 satellites is my understanding, but for right now we're going to go ahead and modify this and see what we can get. If I can get 10 satellites in under 2 minutes, then I would be happy, and I would leave this alone for now until I start going for further ranges and stuff. But for right now, let's go ahead and just cut a piece of cardboard, because as you can see, there's a nice square indent in here right there, which is leaning right here against this, and it's causing it to have some malfunctions. Really interesting that 3DR didn't figure that out before sending these things out, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and knock this out. Everything else looks pretty good, and it flies very good, so let's see if we can acquire satellites better by a simple modification. Here we go, guys. As you can see, I've cut out a little piece of cardboard, and I made sure to cut it so that the screw is still accessible, but it's covering all that. Now we're going to go ahead and take the antenna here, and we're just going to go ahead and slide that back on here and see if I can figure out which direction this goes again. Maybe it's this way. Nope, I got to play with this again. There we go. We found it. And we're just going to go ahead and, you can see I used a little piece of electrical tape to make sure it stayed in place. I'm just going to go ahead and push this back down and try to get it to the stick to the best of my ability here with our new modification. This may take a minute to play with it. There we go. We almost got it. And I can still see my screw holes real good, so we should be good there. And I can still see where I need to plug in. I'm going to mess with this a little bit more and seat this better, but so you guys have an idea. There we go. Everything's fitted back down again. Screws are in. Doesn't look too crazy. Wouldn't even know that I did it. And now we're going to throw this back together and take it outside. You can still see the copper is the same as when we got it here, we're going to take this outside and see how fast we can acquire some satellites. Very easy modification. So let's chuck this thing back together here. I got to plug it back in and piece it back together. I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, all back together. I just want you guys to know that mod took me about 10 minutes. So for those of you freaking out, 10 minutes. If I hadn't had to make the video, easily 7 minutes maybe. Very quick, very easy. Just make sure you get all the screws back in right. I didn't screw anything up. Everything still looks good. Everything's functioning properly that I know of. So let's go outside, and I'm going to take it to the crummiest spot I can think of, out in front of my house with all the trees and everything, and we're just going to set it on the ground and see exactly how long it takes to acquire satellites. All right, I'll see you guys outside. So I picked like the worst spot I possibly could to try to find satellites here. And we're going to turn them on, see exactly how long it takes me to acquire satellites, see if my mod helped at all. Let's see here. Solo still powering on. So 15-20 minutes seemed a bit extreme to wait on 7 satellites. Let's see if we can increase that time. Waiting for Solo. Suppose I can pick up the transmitter now. Okay. It's making noise, searching for GPS. Wow, look at that. Instantly got 6. I was in a huge open field earlier and I couldn't get more than 7, and it kept fluctuating back to 6. So 8 and 7. Mm-hmm. 9. Alright, we are killing it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say this mod works. Took a little longer, but like I said, I'm also in a really kind of crappy area. I can't keep saying that enough. I am in a crappy area. But we definitely have 9 satellites now, so that is a must-do mod if you guys are going to do that. Okay, so mod done. Let me tell you my experience. I had 14 satellites within 5 minutes, and after the first 3 minutes, I picked up more than 10. After about 3 minutes 30 seconds, I ended up getting about 12 satellites. So I can tell you right now that that mod that I just performed works really well. That is interesting that the copper sitting on the antenna would cause that much interference, but apparently it does. So you need this is a pizza board. This is pizza cardboard, very thin piece of pizza cardboard. Utility knife. You can use a small flathead screwdriver, a little knife to pop there's those little clips I was telling you about. Just pop those little clips and then this slides off. And then the screwdriver that came with it works perfect for the small screws. This works perfect for every screw that's on here so far that I've been able to find. And then I used a small piece of electrical tape to hold the cardboard in place. So I'm actually really happy with the way that the GPS functions now. I bet if I was in a field, I would get a lot more satellites. So that was with trees and cloudy weather. And as soon as I turned it on, man, it just snapped. And I just drove like 7 miles away from our flying location. So even the park I was just at going to test it, the basketball or the soccer field was like 5 miles away, and it took forever to get satellites. So 5 miles away, guys. I mean, I plugged it in my driveway, turned on, instantly found satellites. So that's it was like 4 or 5. I mean, it was fluctuating a little bit, but it did take about 4 minutes to connect to at least 10 to 12 solid satellites. But that time increase, man, it's just amazing. Before I was just sitting out there like, this is stupid. I was a little frustrated with it earlier. The first flight wasn't too bad. 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, okay. At first I thought it was my fault because I didn't have my phone connected. And I thought that it was a requirement to have the phone connected to fly LOS. And then after I connected my phone, as soon as I connected my phone to the Solo, I got satellite. So I thought that was the problem until I took it out to the field. And I connected my phone the first time, and I was just sitting there like a dummy going, come on, man. All these people are watching me. I'm like, I'd love to fly, but I can't. I sat there for like 15 or 20 minutes waiting on 7 satellites. and it kept fluctuating between 6 and 7. I stuck that piece of cardboard in there. I had about 13. I think I hit 14 satellites at one point, and then it cut back to like 12 and back up to 13. But and that was flying underneath the trees. I would get underneath the tree, and then it would drop a satellite or two, and then I'd come back out. So that mod is definitely something to do if you are having GPS problems right out the hole. I would immediately tell you to get a piece of pizza cardboard, slice that, and put that right over the top of the GPS antenna. It is almost a must after seeing how well it's performed. So, alright guys, first mod to the Solo, done. Still looks new, no issues, everything went back together, and the mod is working perfect. So I am going to go ahead and put off buying the RAVB. I really don't see a point right now. Getting 12 or 14 satellites is pretty impressive, especially out here. Even the Q500 only gets 9, so much better out here. Now when I go to the parks and stuff, the Q500 pulls in 17 to 20 satellites. So, but out in front of my house, the Hubson, I don't think I ever got more than 8, maybe 10. And I think at one point I got 12, but this, after 4 minutes, connected to 14. So 12 or 14, something like that. Alright guys, throw more stuff, I'm out. Toodaloo.